But today we want to celebrate, and we want to be very positive because freedom is positive, and this is what this is all about. Not only is it a very positive program, but we also should have a lot of fun, and so far it sounds like you're having a lot of fun. But we're here to talk about life and liberty, and quite frankly, they're inseparable. Because how can you have liberty without life, and how can you have decent life without liberty? So the two go together. And of course, we all know life, liberty, and property are very, very important. That is the essence of liberty. But there's sometimes debates on exactly where our lives come from. I have a personal belief. I believe every one of us, each and every life, comes from a creator. And therefore, our right to live is a natural right, and governments are instituted for a very limited purpose, and that is to protect life and to protect liberty. And that what is the magnificence of our Constitution, was it was very limited in scope. It wasn't a license for government to do all the things that they do today. It was very narrow, and that was the genius of the Constitution. And not only was it there to limit the government, it was also there to sort out the difficult problems, not in a centralized, monolithic state in Washington, D.C., but it was to be worked out at the local level where people had a handle and more control over their government. You know, there are a couple of things in our law today that emphasizes the point that we no longer own our lives. We're no longer responsible for ourselves. The welfare warfare state introduces that notion that we have the nanny state, that we don't have responsibility to make our personal decisions, that we take responsibilities from the parents on education and medical care and all these things, that we deliver it to the government, and that just undermines the whole principle of individual liberty and the right to life and the right to live and the right to be responsible. But one of the areas that I think is most abusive of this concept is the idea that we now live in an age, now for a good many years, way too many years, where it is acknowledged that the federal government owns all our income and we're permitted to pay a certain percentage. That is the terrible notion of the personal income tax, which we should get rid of.